Okay, so welcome to the channel. I thought I would do a video on some of the liveries that I've done on GT7, some of my favorite ones that I've also collected. But what you're looking at here is a remote control car that I found a couple of years ago. It was just sitting in its box at someone's house, and it looks like it was going to get thrown out with all this rubbish. And I said to the lady, "Can I have it?" And she goes, "Yeah, take it." So I took it home, played around with it a little bit. Like I said, it is a remote control car, but it wasn't covered in all those liveries. About a month or so ago, I was just sitting around. I was just mucking around with some liveries for GT7, and I thought to myself, why don't I just buy some decal paper and make some liveries off the internet and cover this car with liveries? And that's what I did. That's what you're looking at there. So if you've never done that before, you just got to buy the decal paper from eBay. Is fine. Make sure you get the one for inkjet printer or laser printer, depending on what you have. You just get the images from the internet. You can put them all and resize them all on your paper, print them out. Then after you print them out, you've got to seal the decals before you can cut them out and put them in water so they can, detach and apply them on the car. If you don't seal them, all the ink will run. So that's a bit of a tip for you. So that's what I did, and I just basically I just had some fun with it. And I don't know what sort of model BMW that is because I tried to find the exact model on the internet so I can see whether or not GT7 had it. And I think it might be kind of like the toy company's hybrid BMW because it looks similar to some BMWs, but not so similar to some of the other ones. And I couldn't even find the exact model. Maybe it's a European model, who knows? But anyway, they're the decals on it. I sealed them with some varnish and all the windows frosted up as well, but all the tires also glossed up, and it looks kind of pretty cool anyway. So anyway, that was my toy car, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to recreate that on GT7. And I found a BMW that I could replicate it with, and that was, I think this is the M4. And as you can see, that's exactly the same liveries as the toy car. It looks so much nicer on GT7. I had so much fun doing this because I basically just replicated the model. The only one I couldn't do was the Red Bull on the front grille. It didn't allow me to put any decals on the front grille. Everything else was the same. I should have probably frosted up the side and back glass windows to kind of mimic the toy car, but everything else came out really well. And I put the Red Bull on the back since I could have put it in the front. And I drive this car around South. You got to be careful because I didn't put a wing on it, so you don't have much downforce. So you got to be really careful as you come out the corners. But yeah, that was my replica of the toy car, which I did the decals on. And here it is at South, and it's a really nice car. You just got to be very careful. South, it rains at South as well. This is a 30-minute one, so you got to be very careful because if you don't use traction control, especially when it's rained, you will lose this car without any downforce. But I didn't want to put the wing on it because I wanted to replicate the actual toy. This was a Doctor Who livery. I actually haven't posted this on my collection online. I was having a bit of fun with it, with all the decals I could find on the GT7 website. And look, it came out all right, but I wasn't finished with it. But I just thought I'd show it, and it's an ode to the whole Doctor Who series. And I was trying to get the color of the Aston Martin to match the TARDIS, but the TARDIS changes colors depending on the season. Anyway, on to the next one. Now, I borrowed this livery from someone who did it, and I'm glad they did it. Now, one of the things I want GT7 to do is actually add Holden as a new car on their GT7 game because, Peter Brock, who's known to Australia as the King of the Mountain at Bathurst, and he passed away in 2006 when he crashed a Daytona car. And this is a livery that someone's done on the R33 Nissan, and I borrowed it because they did a really great job with it. The car that Peter Brock was driving was this one when he crashed, and it's unfortunate that he passed away. I think he was 61. Someone's gone and recreated the Daytona, the way it was kind of livered up when he drove it around the Western Australian track that he drove. And again, I love this livery, so I borrowed it on my Daytona. And thumbs up to both those people who've done those liveries. And there was no point me doing it because someone else has done such a great job. But yeah, those two cars, I'd love to see Holden on the game. Okay, so this is my uh, Fallout 4. Is Fallout the series has been a very big thing lately, and Lamborghini Countach I thought was a perfect car for it. I used couple of shades of blue. I like the light blue that you get. I think that's from an Aston Martin, or I can't remember exactly what the blue is, but it's all the decals on it is the Fallout 4 and from the game, and if you know the game and you know the series, lovely car to drive around the South. Also is a great car to drive. Now, Smoking the Bandit, big movie when I was growing up. I've done the traditional Smoking the Bandit. So many people have done it. This is a little bit less. This is without all the gold trimming around. It's just kind of got the eagles and the bandit and Trans Am and the number plates. But this is really decked out this car to the max, and this is up to 800 pp. I've got the wing on the back because I've got to tell you, these sort of cars, if you don't put a wing on the back for downforce, they are very, very difficult to stick on the road. Unlike this next one, when Lewis Hamilton signed with Ferrari for next year, I don't know, everyone went and did something to the Formula One car. This was mine. This took me like half an hour to do. Just mucked around a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what the car looks like. As soon as the car comes out next year, everyone's just going to go replicate it on GT7. But yeah, I drive this one when there's the F1 races and challenges, which are the hardest ones I think because you really need to concentrate. But that's my Lewis Hamilton Ferrari. Now, with Caitlin Clark being, the centre of attention with all the WNBA, I had to do something, and I chose the GTR. The jersey actually is kind of like that type of blue. I basically matched the colours from the jersey on my computer, found the code, and then I kind of did that. Yeah, it's still covered. I actually did a lot of the decals myself, for the Clark and the stars and everything else, and some I already found on the internet as well. And yeah, that was my Caitlin Clark GTR inspired car. This is a favourite of a lot of people's. It's the JPS. Beautiful car, this. Beautiful to drive. I've driven this in Bathurst at the 7-lap challenge one, and I've also driven it at Atlas South. It handles, Porsches handle the best, along with BMWs if you know how to drive. I think the downforce on the wing really helps this grip. Beautiful car. I love the black and the gold, and I've got the classic 1970s BMW. They don't have an 80s one. Well, they have an 89, I think, but yeah, this one is a treat to drive, and it looks beautiful. Now, this next one, only a few people are going to go and know this one. Like, there's a movie called Tough Turf with James Spader and a very young Robert Downey Jr. And there was this car that I loved, and it was kind of like this browny, rusty color. I think it might have been a Cortina, I don't know, or a Corona. But anyway, look, that's the car that I found that kind of looks like it, and I kind of tried to match it with the grille, and it looks very similar to the car in the movie, but it's not the same model. But anyway, that's my Tough Turf inspired car. This next one, well, I thought I'd include this. Big fan of the whole Alien films, and I found the decals already on GT7, so I just used the, I think it's the Mac 40, is this one? I can't remember. So, in space, no one can hear you scream. I did that font myself on Inkscape, and yeah, this is just a note to the Alien film. I thought it included. It's not that flash, but it's okay. I like this one. This one's for my Magnum PI inspired. I think it's a GTB Ferrari actually. And I use the colors very similar to the Island Hopper with the stripes, and it's very 70s and 80s kind of like retro, and I really love it. And I've got the little ring symbol on the back and the Robin one. But yeah, this Ferrari, it's a nice car to drive as well. There's a good Ferrari challenge on GT7. I use that a lot because it's just a lovely car to drive, and I love the decals I did on that one as well. And my last one here is big fan of Futurama. I love Futurama, and I think it's funnier than most of the shows are out there, the cartoons. And I found all these decals, and I just went crazy with everything. There's a little bit of a cool thing I did on this one that I thought of on the last minute, and it's not on the actual one I put on the website, but you can see on the back underneath, I'll show you a close up in a minute, when Fry delivers his pizza before he gets stuck and ends up going into the future, the pizza is a bit of a dud, and it's addressed to I see Wiener, And so I thought of that, and I made the decal on Inkscape, and I put some pizza on either side of it. So I see Wiener, it's supposed to be a joke. Anyway, that's the video. So they're my decals, some of them anyway. And yeah, that's a BMW I love to drive. And yeah, thanks for watching. But yeah, until next time.